Hey, good morning, Damon. How are you, dude?
I'm doing great, Kurt. We're ready to go.
Oh my goodness gracious. Did you get a good night's sleep last night for this one?
Yes, I did.
Man, all right. I hope you slept like a baby because we need it. We've got two amazing, wonderful guests. We're here today on Stop Being the Best Kept Secret, and we're going to talk about SEO success strategies for manufacturers. And we're with our dear friend Melinda Marks in the great city of Chicago, and we're talking about Pedoc Power Pedestals. Melinda, good morning to you where you're at. How are you?
Good morning. I'm doing great. And it's still morning by you, Kurt?
It's not, but
I was gonna say
it's like I think it's lunchtime. It's like lunchtime for me. Like we're covering a lot of different meals right now. Breakfast for Damon. We're doing breakfast with Damon, lunch with me. Yeah. You guys are kind of like at the brunch level, so yeah, we're kind of right in the middle. But all right. So Melinda, are you excited? Are you fired up?
I am always.
And like you're a repeat offender. You know that you've been on multiple times on the show, right?
I think this is number 4.
Is it no?
For real, 3 or 4.
Number 4, man. And like for the person that really is not crazy about live streaming, thank you. I cannot express how much it always means to me when I get that, I twist that arm a little bit and she comes on and she just looks spectacular today. Then I've got my dear friend Damon. We have another repeat offender today. We have Melissa Bassa in the house.
Guilty as charged.
Guilty as charged. Now she's a little off put because like she likes when we do these in person. She's not like into the whole virtual thing. Melissa Bassa, how are you?
I'm great, Kurt. How are you today?
Oh my goodness, I couldn't be any better. Are you kidding me? So, all right, Damon, are you fired up or what?
I'm ready to go, Kurt. Let's do this.
Let's do this. All right, Melinda Marks, let's dive in. First and foremost, let's start with you. A little, give folks a little taste of Pedoc Power Pedestals. What are these, and how do you and your team make the world a better place?
Well, Kurt and Damon, you at this point, after 2 years, probably really know what a power pedestal is, right? I mean, you might even be able to describe it more than I can.
So not possible. Not possible.
So first of all, Pedoc Power Solutions is a USA manufacturer of outdoor power pedestals. So Kurt, I'm going to turn it to you. What is a power pedestal?
Well, let's just say hypothetically, like just asking for a friend, right? Let's just say hypothetically, Damon, you're with your beautiful, wonderful wife, and you're strolling through the Ritz-Carlton Hotel, and you look at the landscape, and it's evening, the sun just set, and and everything's kind of lit up, and like it's lit up because like everything is powered by these wonderful, amazing, made in USA, heavy duty American steel power pedestals. How about that, Melinda? How about?
Oh my gosh! Yeah, I mean, I'm like I walked the beach.
He paints a picture.
He paints
a picture, doesn't he?
All right, so let's take it one step. Melissa Bassa, are you a golfer by any chance? You golf? Do you ever get the golf clubs out?
I hack. I'll play, but I'm not really a golfer.
All right, let's say like you and the kids, you decide like, hey, we're gonna go out and swing for, and like you go to like the wonderful local country club where you are in the suburbs of Chicago, and you guys are out, and again, like it's kind of evening time, and like you're cruising around the golf course, and you look around, and you're like, how are they getting power out here on the 16th hole? And you see like these heavy duty industrial metal fabricated power pedestals that are made right at Pedoc. That's what Pedoc Power Solutions are. How's that, Melinda?
Yeah, you're hired, Kurt.
I'll show you. This is the one that I don't like to see. It actually is. Your products are really good, but I don't want to be the one driving that vehicle when the temperature is cold enough I need to plug it in. But the power pedestal is awesome.
That's right. So David, like for the winter that we had, that was definitely.
This would be better. This will be better. It's nice enough to work outside. The power pedestal is keeping my laptop going, keeping the phone rolling. That's what we want to see.
That's right. That's right.
Perfect. So thank you. Thank you for that. So everyone now knows what power pedestal is.
And we've got a bunch of wonderful examples that we're going to be showing. And so, Linda, give us a little background. I know, again, repeat offender, you've been on multiple times. For folks that are catching you for the first time, you have a wonderful story. I've asked, who your hero is. We've talked extensively about your dad. When you go to your office, there's pictures of dad when you got the company started. Give us a little background on the origin story here, tying in with Mark Kress and then tied in with Pedoc.
Yeah, happy to. So Pedoc Power Solutions is a a sub company of Marks Metalworks. And Marks Metalworks was founded by my father, Ulrich Marks. He went by Oli in 1976. And since then, so I started working there when I was even before my teens. I mean, there were no child labor laws.
Yeah. We don't talk about that.
It was back in the 80s.
Apply in family business.
It was like 80s, 90s. We don't, we didn't pay attention to that back then, right?
So he is an immigrant from Germany, and in Germany, he had the opportunity to become a coppersmith tradesman. And so he really learned just metalworking skills. And when he came here in his 20s, he always had this idea that he always had the dream that he one day wanted to own his own business. And here he was in his early 20s coming over to the United States. He had this talent. English wasn't his first language, but he had such a talent and such just a knack for connecting with humans on a personal level that he had just the right skill set. He had the smarts, he had the vision, and he had the connection, which I think are super, super important for any company. And so in 1976, he, after working at a couple other sheet metal manufacturers, he started his own business. And over the years, just grew and grew and grew by word of mouth. So the company that he actually started with, his first customer, they grew tremendously. A customer was called Scaletronics, and they were since purchased by Hillrom, which is a huge manufacturer in the hospital world. Mm-hmm. And so that continued, the buildup continued and continued. And my sister, Marlene Palmer, who is the owner and president of Marks Metalworks, had started there right out of college, pretty much. And she's been there ever since. So I'm not going to give away her age, but she's got quite a bit of experience working at the business. And the two of us combined, we were born into this business. And so I firsthand got to hear the conversations over the dinner table. I got to, and whether it was about employees or customers or not being able to get material or how to price something or delivery, just, not even realizing it at the time, all these little bits, I'm subconsciously picking up, and Marlene, the same thing. So when we did eventually join the company full time, it was, wow, we had this great exposure from a young age. We weren't coming in, brand new to it. So it was awesome. So Marks Metalworks is a custom sheet metal fabricator. So essentially anything you want built out of metal, you'd send us a print and we'll figure out how to make it. Mm-hmm. And we'll figure out the best way, the most economical way. Or if you don't know what you need, but you have an idea of what you need, the requirements of what you need, then that's what people come to us for. Mm-hmm. So Marks Manufacturing or Marks Metalworks purchased Pedoc Power Solutions in the early 2000s. And so we purchased it from an electrical contractor who at the time had very little business. But what he saw as an electrical contractor was the need for a solution of a power pedestal. So maybe you've all seen them if you're, walking down the street, even in the city of Chicago. It actually baffles me. I'm walking down the sidewalk and you see a tree of the metal grate and then a conduit sticking up with a cover on it, an electrical cover. And 90% of the time, those covers have been kicked off, popped off, pried off, the conduit's bent. And so that's where Ken Shank, who is essentially the inventor of Pedoc, he saw the need for it. He came to our father, Oli, and said, hey, this is my idea. Here's some designs I have. And ideas, and together him and my father really honed the product. And my dad on the design a little bit too. He had a real keen eye for design, but in terms of manufacturing, selecting the right material. So our pedestals are stainless steel, which is one of the, if not best material you can have in terms of stability, reliability over time. Of course, there's different types of stainless, different thicknesses. So all of that went into consideration when the pedestal line was developed. And so since then, the company has grown. I mean, there's thousands and thousands of pedestals that are ordered every year. We're specified by, high-end architects, landscape designers, Gensler, the Office of James Burnett, to name a few of them. And we have, been in some really high-profile projects. So you mentioned the Ritz-Carlton, Kurt, because you know very well that they're building a large luxury condo development in Pompano Beach, Florida, right on the beach. And so they have ordered 300 of our power pedestals. So the business has grown tremendously over the years, and we're very proud of what we've been able to do. We're not just proud of the product, but we're proud of the people behind the product. Everybody on our team and the shop and our partners. Like the three of you have helped along the way, of course. And so, that was the long version, I guess.
Well, that was absolutely phenomenal. Love every minute. Tons to unpack. And Melissa Bassa, I think we share a mutual passion for manufacturers. Just like when you hear the story and you hear the family legacy, and now like there's, when I've been on site, third generation is there when kids come home from college, that type of thing. But Melissa, just give some insight. You've been on site here multiple times with Melinda. What's your takeaway from the story that she just shared? Are you on mute? Uh-oh.
I wasn't on mute. Can you hear me now?
There you go. Perfect. Perfect.
All right. Well, I think it's Melinda's leadership and her willingness to step out of her comfort zone, try something new, right, and work with you that has made this such a success. It's been great to watch. There's a culture there when you go on site that you can just tell everybody's voices are heard. You can feel the family nature of the family business and the commitment to the quality and the product. And it's fascinating, right? Because you described the different environments in which the power pedestals are. The best part of them is when you don't notice them, when they blend into the landscape, when you don't notice how the power is getting there, right? But then how do you get the word out? How do you market the product when it's a product that you want to blend in and disappear? So it's been it's an interesting opportunity, and it's been fun to watch Melinda and her team embrace trying new things, incorporating AI in putting together new programming, right? And really trying new things and helping grow the family business while bringing the team along with them.
Yeah, absolutely love it. And hey, we've got a couple comments here, Damon. We got Diane Byer in the house. Happy Monday, everyone. Happy Monday to you, Diane. And again, friends out there, drop a note. Let us know that you're out there. Please connect with Melissa, connect with Melinda on LinkedIn. And Diane says, sheet metal fabricators and powered pedestals. Love our manufacturers. Love our MEPs. Diane, thank you for teeing it up. And what a great segue. Melissa, do us a favor. You're with the agency called IMEC, IMEC. Great, wonderful agency in a great state of Illinois. You are the MEP, Manufacturing Extension Partnership. Please share with folks that are not familiar with the MEP, who is IMEC, and how are you guys making the great state of Illinois a better place to do manufacturing?
Doing our best. Yeah, for sure. IMEC is the Illinois Manufacturing Excellence Center, and we are a group of manufacturing specialists working with small and mid-sized manufacturers here in the state on all of their operational and strategic initiatives. So anything an Illinois manufacturer might need to be more efficient, more productive, grow revenue, invest, things they couldn't otherwise do, we are here to be a resource for them. We've got an awesome team of technical specialists with subject matter expertise in all different areas a manufacturer might need, from leadership and workforce, strategy, technology, operations, safety, quality, sustainability. kind of anything a manufacturer might need. We've also got our MEP partners all around the country and our federal partners who help us do what we do. So there's an MEP, Manufacturing Extension Partnership Center, in all 50 states and Puerto Rico, supporting all of the nation's small and mid-sized manufacturers.
That's right. So whatever state you're coming to us from, do yourself a favor, just do a little Google search, Manufacturing Extension Partnership, and you will have your local MEP pop up, and they just do amazing, magical work. We're going to pull up your website in a minute. Let's dive deeper into the Pedoc Power pedestals. And so, Melinda, what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull up your website. And so for folks just joining us, we've got Melinda Marks from Pedoc Power Solutions. We're going to take a peek at the website. Let's just talk a little bit about what you guys have been working on here. And here we go. And okay, there they are. What a great picture right there. Here's your website. Welcome everybody to stop by pedocpower.com. Just walk us through the website real quick and let's talk a little bit about what's been going on here.
Sure. So over the last couple of years, we have fine-tuned the website several times, and we're always fine-tuning it to highlight my interaction both with IMEC and you, Kurt and Damon at B2Btail. This is an ongoing project and something that you all have helped us get to even this point right now. And Melissa, from the IMEC side, well, first let me back up. Kurt, it was you that introduced me to IMEC. I happened to sit in on one of your live sessions after Googling SEO manufacturers in Illinois, and who popped up? Kurt. And so I sat in on one of Kurt's sessions, and he told me about IMEC and introduced me to the opportunities that Cook County offers. And so Pedoc was able to take advantage of some of that resource and work with Kurt and Damon and their team through IMEC. And I have to say, hands down, the relationship, the work that we've all done together is just absolutely top notch. So thank you.
Well, thank you.
To your point, to our website. So we have over 1,000 different pedestal configurations. And that's one of the things that makes our product, our company, unique in that there are even there's some large competition out there. Being a smaller company, we are more nimble and we are able to offer custom solutions. And so we have over 1,000 different options off the shelf. And when I say off the shelf, some of them we carry in stock, some we have available for quick ship, and then others we make per order. So if you go, yep, perfect, Kurt. Our newest model is that 4x4 flush mount. It's been out for about 1.5 years now, and it has quickly become a top seller. So we're very proud of this. This is a power pedestal that can sit flush against a surface. That back, so that cover can open freely. So this is a huge one, and we see this being installed a lot on balconies. So
yeah,
it is code that every balcony in a residential high-rise or just any balcony has power. And so as we see more and more of these high-rise developments move towards glass walls and just complete glass balconies like the Ritz, the challenge becomes in how to run power out there. And so this is a perfect solution because you can't run an outlet through a wall. And so here they're able to run the power up through the bottom, and it blends in. It's right up against the wall, so it's perfect.
Yeah, and what I love is what we're looking here is what's called a configurator. And I just, for other manufacturers that are catching this, what we always love to say is like, how do you make that great first web impression? And secondly, how can you help that ideal buyer make a buying decision on a Friday night at midnight without having to wait for you to open up your doors on a Monday? And Melinda, I'll tell you what you and the team have done is just a spectacular job of just like providing every bit of information to help that person. First, you're trying to build that trust. Secondly, you're doing a phenomenal job of like letting Google or search engines, or now with AI, all the changes with AI. Hey, this, you're raising your hand. This is what we do. This is our expertise, and just providing all this information. And then lastly, for manufacturers out there, here's a custom manufacturer that converted into a proprietary product. And now you have a configurator allowing your ideal customer, those soulmates, that can now come on the website, and they can the product that they create doesn't exist anywhere else on the planet. They can customize and create their very own product here. Talk a little bit about the configurator and what that can do for buyers out there to make their lives a little easier.
Oh, absolutely. Hands down. It's quick to narrow down what you need from, 1,000 different types of pedestals. If you were to go on each one of these pages, you can, if you'll change even the height. Yep, exactly. So you can, it's basic. You select whether or not you want a pad mount, surface mount pedestal. Depending on your project, you might want that, or you might want a direct bury version. So maybe you don't want to pour a concrete pad, or the site isn't suitable for that. So then we have all these with different amperage ratings, different styles. And so you essentially select the mounting type, select the style, and then from there we have this configurator on every one of the pages. And so if you want to go to, let's say, 42-inch height, Kurt, and then a finish, let's do a bronze. And then, so right now everything auto-populates, and what you see here on the left is the configurator, and you can actually move that around, Kurt. You can blow it up. You can take a screenshot of it. Additionally, you have the description that populated. You have the catalog number. You can download the drawing right there too. So we will have a landscape designer sometimes screenshot that to our to their distributor and say, hey, we want this. Or they'll download the drawing. Every pedestal has a drawing that's available for download right there as well. And then from there, you can just simply add the add to quote button and complete the quote request, send it on over, and we check your current quote. And there it is. And even from there, if you were to click on the part number, just to make sure you got it right, yep, it will take you right back into that page. So if you scroll down, it'll take you specifically to that part.
Yep.
So it's pretty awesome. And then once the add to quote and submit is sent over, our inside sales team, again, US based, is here. We typically respond to quotes within an hour. Nice. That's what we strive for. So sometimes it might be 2, 3, but we are checking those quote requests. We know how important it is for customers to have answers right when they need them, and we don't want to be the holdup by any means. So yes, that's the configurator.
That's the configurator. Damon, any thoughts, comments that you want to add right here?
Well, I think this makes it a lot easier for someone to be able to really see what they are going to buy for their unique application. And that's where the configurators really shine. And this is, like you said, a great example. I can screenshot, I can look at more, I can download a drawing, I can make a decision right here without talking to anyone. If I know I want a power pedestal, I can find the right one here, and I can then get the quote request off for it.
Yeah, very powerful solution. And again, I was just at a conference a few weeks ago, and there was a research project. As a matter of fact, we're doing a webinar about it at the Indiana MEP at Purdue, and it's this big engineer research project, and it's 60 to 70% of the engineer's buying decision is already done online. I mean, just let that sink in. 60 to 70% of the buying decision is already done online. So the thing is, if we choose to ignore our websites, if we don't treat it like it's our best salesperson out there, and look what Melinda and the team have done of just, providing every ounce of information of hey, what's every question that our soulmate, our ideal buyer would potentially ask? And they're doing a phenomenal job of addressing it. Melissa Bassa, anything that you want to add or chime in here as we go through this process?
I love this configurator from the first time Melinda showed it off when it wasn't totally ready yet, but she was so excited to show it to us. But I love the horsepower that's behind this and the simplicity on the front end. I mean, that's just a beautiful design, right? All the power, all the decisions, all the options that you can do. But from a user experience, it's slick and simple, and you can help that buyer make decisions anytime they're ready.
Absolutely. So, all right. So let's go here. Let's, all right. You know what? Melissa, while you're chatting, I'm going to come back to you. So, at IMEC. So again, for our friends that have just joined us, we've got Melissa Bassa from IMEC. That's the Illinois MEP. So let's take a peek at your website real quick, because you guys just launched a brand. So you're practicing what you preach, which is phenomenal. And we've got another friend here from Rhea saying good day to all from Barbados. Thank you for joining us again.
Hey, Rhea.
Drop us a note. Let us know that you're out there. Weather's probably a little better where she is than where I am, but probably just a little.
Ditto.
But let's go check out the IMEC website. So here we go. Here we go. Can you see my screen there?
Yes.
Loading.
Okay. So you guys just launched a brand new website. So again, you explained before that you are a resource for manufacturers. There's an IMEC, AKA the Manufacturing Extension Partnership in all 50 states plus Puerto Rico.
Yep.
Talk a little bit about when somebody lands on your website, what can they expect and what are some of the things that they would reach out to for solutions for their manufacturing operation?
Absolutely. So we've got a ton of resources on our website now, easily and readily available, from events to the different solutions we have in our different pillars or different areas of assistance. But what I think is most powerful is the resource center. So our manufacturers, anytime they need it, can go and read white papers and blogs and news and see recordings of webinars we've done in the past. Kurt, you'll find yourself in many of those as well too, right? But it is a self-service, go help find the information that you need when you have questions, right? So in the same way, Melinda's buyers in the off hours can go and run the configurator and look at prints of products they might want to buy. When our manufacturers here in Illinois have questions or in the off hours are thinking about some of their initiatives and the things that they get a little tied up during the day in running day-to-day operations, but they want to spend some time really doing some thought leadership, anytime, they can come and access all of our resources here on the website.
That's nice.
Yeah. This is fantastic. And take a look here. I think what I see, 200 and some, resources right here, 259. Wow. And like you said, you guys do an amazing, incredible job of just, Damon, we like to use that line. How do you out teach the competition? Yeah. How do you just be fierce, unapologetic educators? And what you guys do, Melissa, is just, tons of webinars, tons of resources. You do in-person events, all sorts of things. And what you're doing is you're diving into like, what is the challenge of our soulmate today, whether it's AI, lean, workforce development, whatever the topic might be. Here, what we're talking about with Melinda, as far as like, online business development, marketing, online marketing strategies, that type of thing. But just do you have any particular, go ahead, please.
And sorted by topic, right? So we have a ton of resources there, but meant to be sorted by subject matter, so that when you're going and looking for something, maybe you don't know exactly what you need or what you want, but you're thinking about, how do I improve operational efficiency? Or I'm thinking about my quality system, or I've got some sustainability initiatives, or I'm looking to grow, whatever the topic is, right? If you don't know what you're looking for, you can go by subject matter area and start to look around at what we have and what we've done and some of the things we're discussing, and download some white papers to read. And so it's meant to be helpful in that way, even when you don't know exactly what it is you're looking for.
Yeah. And you take a look, and Melinda, you can attest, as a small manufacturer, sometimes, Marlene, your team, you guys are throwing on multiple different hats. And when you take a look at some of these different topics, like, hey, if I need to know something about passing a OSHA audit, we've got that information right here. If we want to know something about, what did I see here? The foreign free trade zone, like what's going on here as far as like AI is certainly a hot topic. There's all sorts of information here. So again, brand new website for IMEC, just incredible resources dedicated to helping manufacturers. And again, if you're from another state, check out or Google Manufacturing Extension Partnership, or just, put near me and you will find your MEP that is near you. Melinda, let's talk a little bit from your perspective on, as you said, partnering with IMEC, all the resources that they've provided for you. Would you recommend IMEC for like your friends, your family, your dog? Like, what does that look like?
If there was, above a 10-star rating that I did on the survey for IMEC, you would have gotten it. Absolutely. Hands down from Melissa and the whole team at IMEC, just always available, always helpful insights and resources. I mean, it's through IMEC, Kurt and Damon that we've been together now. And Melissa's been amazing. I mean, just her smile all the time when you talk to her, right? I mean, even that.
Yep.
But she's so attentive and always available to provide resources or even explain new opportunities for us that we hadn't even really been thinking about. So, which is awesome.
Yeah, Melissa, let's go there. I'd be remiss if we didn't give a little love, big shout out. You have an incredible team, and please, forgive me or forgive us right now for anybody that we forget, because like it's just top to bottom, just the sheer, they're all stars, their passion and dedication to helping manufacturers and the walk of life that everybody brings something a little bit different. But let's give a shout out to a couple of your teammates or anybody that you want to like particular areas that you guys are specializing in lately. What's that look like?
Yeah, it's going to be hard to capture everything. I appreciate the comments, Melinda, and you should know, right? Our team is very mission driven. As an organization, we averaged 20 years in manufacturing before joining the mission of IMEC to help all of Illinois manufacturers. So, the way I work and the passion I have, I mean, you'll find it across the team. So we are doing some really exciting new things in the areas of apprenticeships and workforce development, because we know that's been a pain point for manufacturers for a while now, right? So my colleague, Amy Murphy, and the rest of our leadership team our workforce development team is doing some really awesome things in that space. We have an upcoming frontline leadership supervisory skills training program in the Rockford area. We have 2 sessions of it now sold out, because we know that's a need, right? For frontline leader supervisory skills, those who've come to leadership positions from doing good work when they were individual contributors. Now they're helping lead a team. That's a different skill set, right? And so we're helping manufacturers develop those. We've got a great team in lean manufacturing and continuous improvement, waste elimination, efficiency improvement. That's the bread and butter of the work we've done for a very long time. And we've got an awesome team. We've got Salvador, and we've got Jim Floyd, and we've got Mark Lascuto and Jeremy Smith, and too many people that I'm not going to name who are going to give me a hard time later about it, but doing really great work in that area. And so, we're listening to the manufacturers and understanding what are the challenges, what are the trends, right? What are the technology, right? I'm a smaller manufacturer, and I know there's a place for automation and technology in my business, but I don't know where to start. And if I call one of the solution providers, they're going to sell me their solution, but I'd really rather figure out, here are my business goals. Here's what the business needs. Now, what are the right solutions? Where is there a technology that's going to help me meet my goals with a strong ROI? And then how do I approach that? So we do a lot of work in that space as well, helping those manufacturers who know that there's a role there and they don't know how to get started. We do technology and automation assessments and help them build that from the ground up.
Yeah, that's one of the things that it's one of the things I really like about the MEP centers, right? Is you go to the MEP center with their various resources that they have in the local center, in your state, and also nationally. You can find the solution you need for your manufacturing challenge, because the network is so big and so experienced.
You're so right, Damon. I am the first one to say I know a little bit about a lot of things, and I will admit there's plenty of things I'm going to get asked about and I won't have the answers. But the one thing I know for sure is between my team at IMEC and the other MEP centers, I can find the answer. I can find the resource. I can find the partner. I can find the solution, whatever it is, right? I don't know that much, right? I'm not going to have all the answers, and I'll admit that freely. But I know that the extended network is going to be able to provide that solution.
Mm-hmm.
Well, absolutely love that. And just for the record, when you just, you're getting a sense of Melissa's passion, and again, Damon, I love never being the smartest guy in the room. And it's kind of easy, it's like, I always love being the dumbest guy in the room. When I get to travel with Melissa, she's an Ivy Leaguer, by the way. She went to Brown University.
Dartmouth.
Oh, you're Dartmouth. I was thinking you were Brown. You're Dartmouth. Okay, Mike. So
I think last time you got it wrong too, but you picked something else. What'd you pick last time? Yeah, I think every time you pick a different Ivy. I'll just go through all the Ivy.
Damon, she went to Yale. I promise. She went to Yale. Yeah. Dartmouth. She went to. Did you give a commencement at Dartmouth?
Oh boy, yes, I did. No, just to clarify, Dartmouth was for graduate school. My undergrad is in mechanical engineering from the University of Illinois in Champaign. So I just want to clarify, right? I'm a Big Ten girl by heart, but yes, Dartmouth for grad school. My master's is in business and engineering, and yes, they asked me 10 years later to go back and give a commencement speech for the graduation of my particular program 10 years out to talk about what I'd done with the degree and kind of my choices of passion in my career. So yeah, it was a really unique opportunity.
That's great.
Yeah.
Like I'm so far removed from Ivy League, Damon. I can't even get the right. I can't even get the right one. So she's a grad of Dartmouth, and she's just absolutely just a delight, just a person of integrity. It's such a privilege working with Melissa. And I jotted down a few. So we've got to give a shout out like Dr. Dave Belay. He's a Big Ten guy as well. Ray Zagano, Mary Halleck. We've got Tom Grant. Let's see. We've got Doug Pennington. He's coming on the show on Friday, as a matter of fact.
Yes.
We've got Mike Flynn was on the show 2 weeks ago. Mm-hmm. Of course, lots of love to our dear friend Jacqueline, Jeannie, Cameron, all the team in marketing. I'm probably leaving a ton of people out. Noah, Cameron. Let's see. Tons of people. So anyway. Wonderful group, Amanda, and we could go on and on and on. So big shout out to everybody at IMEC. Let's give a shout. We've got a few comments here. So Rhea says, "Hey, you're welcome to visit Barbados and enjoy the weather. Take a vacation."
Where do we sign up? Let's go.
He doesn't have to ask us twice. Joshua says,
right?
Joshua gives a big woohoo. Melissa, Diane she dropped the link. So again, check out your MEP.
It's.gov/MEP and it's find your local center. Thank you, Diane.
And we've got Rochelle saying, "Hey, everyone, how are you?" So again, guys, thank you for dropping a note. Let us know you're out there. Melinda, let's come back to the website. Okay. So great opportunity here for manufacturers. Maybe they're just starting their digital marketing journey. You've done an amazing job. We're going to show off a little piece of work that we did together. So let's dive into your website. And then we're going to brag on a little bit for our colleague, Amy and Paula, the work that they did. But can you see my website? Can you see my screen?
You can see the screen.
Yep.
Perfect. Okay. Let's go to blogs. So what we started doing is, as you saw, Melissa and the team at IMEC are doing an amazing job listing out all of their webinars, success stories, white papers, all sorts of information, helping their ideal customers. Melinda, just talk a little bit about the strategy here on putting out content on Pedoc.
So, well, this is really over the years just morphed tremendously. And one of the things that I learned from you, Kurt, and Damon is the importance of staying current in terms of how important it is for SEO. And one of the best ways that we've found to do it to still stay competitive in terms of online recognition is through putting out these blogs. And so we've had the pleasure that we've been fortunate enough to be working with you all who we've come up with topics, like you had said, how important it is for when somebody comes to the website to get the information that they're looking for and they need to make a decision. Well, that's the intent here behind everything we do is we brainstorm topics. It's not just, let's do this. It's really thoughtful, like who are we trying to speak to on our website, just in general. We're looking to speak with engineers. We're looking to speak to distributors and to contractors. So when they come to our site and when we're really thinking about putting a blog together, we're very focused on mind. What's the intent behind it? And is this the right topic? Is this the right content for those people specifically? And so as we create these blogs, you mentioned Amy, she's been awesome. We sit in together, we come up with topics, and She comes up with the content. She's a whiz, and is able to take all of our thoughts, all of our ideas, and just put it into a format that's easily readable and suitable, whether it's going into our blog or onto social media posts like LinkedIn and Facebook. So, and I don't know when you were going to get to this, but I think we are. That buyer's guide, right? Am I going to jump ahead?
We'll take a little peek at that right now. So let's.
I want to point out that all of this work on the back end that we've been doing for a long time now, with that focused mind of who we're looking to speak to, each one of these blogs, they're doing those things. And so Kurt and Damon had the idea to come up with an official outdoor power pedestal guide. And so we were able to take all that content. I mean, there's a number of different articles on different topics related to power pedestals, and come up with this beautiful guide thanks to, it was really a whole team effort.
Mm-hmm.
It was Kurt, Damon, Teresa, Amy, Paula, of course, who did the design work of this. I mean, we are so excited and really proud of the work that you all have done to get us to this point. I mean, what a great feat.
Yeah, and Melinda, first off, thank you. And I'm going to take zero credit. So Damon, this was your brainchild, and then Amy did all the work on the content, and then Teresa does all the amazing work behind the scenes, and then of course Paula came together and just put it all
together in the nice guide at the end. Yeah.
She was like the artist that just kind of tied it all together. So this was just fantastic. So Melinda, let's go here. So for that ideal buyer, again, like they can go to the configurator, but like this is a great opportunity to get something in folks' hands and like kind of walk through for, this is a solution that, like you said, not everybody knows that there's a high powered world-class solution where they're just like, hey, hey, Joe, get an outlet out to the golf course, right? And it just looks terrible. It's broken. We've had different examples here, but just share a little bit of like, what are the opportunities that you can do with this guide to help your buyers make a better buying decision?
Well, one, so not only is this buyer's guide going to be available very soon on our website as a PDF, but we will also have it on its own dedicated web page. And so we will focus on the keywords. And so that right from the start, if people are looking for a power pedestal and they might not even know what it is,
Yep.
We want to be the response that comes up at the top of Google saying, what is a power pedestal? Well, we want to be the ones whose voice they hear from Pedoc. This is what a power pedestal is. And so this guide will take users from the very most basic level to what is a power pedestal, why do I need one, down to help narrow it down. Like, well, what type of power pedestal do I need? Which is the right application for it? If you need to charge a food truck or bring power to a food truck for, the appliances like a fryer or a refrigerator, you're going to need a different type of pedestal. You're going to need one with higher amperage than you would for students at a college campus charging their phone. Mm-hmm. And so this guide will walk folks through this, as well as contractors. How do I install one of these things? Mm-hmm. They might not, as the site is being built, it's not just the electrical contractor that's involved. It's the other contractors on site that have to pour the foundation and, mm-hmm. Make sure that the anchors on their pad line up with the pedestal, and they need a template, whatever it might be. So there's information also for specifiers and what are the capabilities of Pedoc. They might be looking for a specific material like stainless steel, which is very important in terms of being in any outdoor weather condition, but particularly near ocean or near mm-hmm. the ocean, near any salt water, or even here in the Midwest and the Northeast where there's salt trucks. We get a lot of snow here, mm-hmm. and we see a lot of salt trucks, and a lot of power pedestals are out in parking lots or even along roadways. And so if you get all that salt kicked up, spraying up, I mean, it's going to affect the integrity of the pedestal, and it's also going to affect the safety of the electrical components on the inside. So materials, this guide will walk users through even the materials and why materials are so important.
Well, this is phenomenal. And I saw coming back here, Melissa, when you and I were on site, we did a little interview with one of their engineers, Mike Foley. And so there's a nice quote in here from Mike Foley right there. So Melinda, we started really attacking like the SME interviews, subject matter expert interviews. So for other manufacturers that are out there, they're seeing this like, you know, like when you're starting from zero, going all the way to this, that might be a little bit overwhelming, right? Just I need a new expression, but kind of like eat the elephant, if you will. Melissa, I need a new expression. That's not very nice, right? But it kept like going from zero all the way to this. But just talk a little bit about like how valuable and you have a gift for interviewing these folks. Talk a little bit about like how important those SME interviews played in this, retracting that information from those experts.
So there's been a couple different formats that we've done these interviews in, and one would be this live stream, like similar to this. And then what, Kurt, as you mentioned, we've also done one-on-one interviews that are recorded, where it's not so much as conversational as it is me posing a question and like speaking with an engineer and taking the time to answer that question. And so what we've been able to do in both cases is get the transcripts from those videos. And here we're going to go into AI, right? I mean, the amazing tool, utilizing AI, take those transcripts. And that was huge in putting together this buyer's guide, is helping us identify, you know, what should we focus on, things like that. So it took, how many different blogs and SME interviews have we done together? It's taking all that content and really helping us to focus. Doesn't do it all, but it really helps us to bring into focus what's really important and even potentially how to categorize things. So those SME interviews have been huge. And Kurt, you know, I was really reluctant to do one. So now, I mean, this is my fourth time coming on here, and I now lead some of the interviews with the SMEs. We've had our engineers. I've been on site with one of our vendor, a powder coat vendor, a local commercial finishers that we've been partnered with for over 30 years. So it's great. And you know, I always learn something. You know, even though day in, day out, I'm working with these engineers and I'm working with our suppliers, it's like, wow, I didn't realize that. Or even the specifiers. We've also interviewed some specifiers. So so getting to this guide, yes, to your point, I mean, this is huge. The final end result is absolutely amazing. And one, it looks stunning, and two, the content is just remarkable. And that was all gathered, not all, but majority of it gathered through those interviews. Yeah.
And I tell you, you've done a phenomenal job. And I think, Melissa, you were pointing out earlier, you know, like you take a look at that picture, there's a Pedoc Power pedestals right there. Very discreet, very classy, you know, blend right in with the landscaping. Don't even realize it's there until you need it. And like, say you're out in public at that cafe and you need your phone charged or whatever it is, because we all need to make sure we're charged up. So they are so, you know, it's almost not even a nice to have. These are must to have in certain areas, in certain situations, even for public safety situations, right? So there's a lot of benefits to having that product out there. Melissa, any comments that you want to share as far as like, you know, like any manufacturer, regardless of size, can really start attacking getting that content out there, stop being the best kept secret? What would you want to share as far as like helping small manufacturers getting content out there?
Yeah, I think that's one area that manufacturers tend not to focus on as much, right? They're focused on the operations and the things in the plant. And so sometimes it's an overlooked opportunity to grow the top line, right? To create other opportunities to fill equipment maybe and fully utilize the plant. But I think the top line is sometimes overlooked, and sometimes it's not the specialty of small manufacturers whose leaders are wearing many, many hats. And so it's a great opportunity to partner with us, our counterpart MEPs, and get get experts like yourself to come help with some of the known best practices and create some of those revenue generating opportunities.
Yeah, absolutely love it. Hey, go ahead, Damon.
Well, and I'm just gonna say, you know, one of the things that we've really been seeing, it was awesome seeing it, Melinda and the team there at Pedoc Power embrace, is using these interviews in conjunction with AI. You know, a simple chat GPT membership and those SME interviews and the transcripts can give you such a powerful marketing partner almost to really help you refine things, and everything from origin story interviews all the way to the technical things. And then when you're talking to your custom AI, it knows you to a certain point that it can really help to like put this guide together, utilizing all the information that you've got there and really make it meaningful.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, love that. Hey, look who dropped a comment. Jason's in the house. So
All right.
of course, it looks great, Jason. So, and Diane says, love the buyer's guide. This is fantastic. And
It really
Diane's our
is.
dear friend with the Mid-Atlantic Tax. So,
Yep.
Diane, thank you for your comments. Again, thank you, everybody, for dropping comments today. I know we could keep you guys all day. We'll start winding down here. Melinda, any one thing I wanted to chime in with the last image I was just showing, it looked like, you know, kind of a community or municipality. You did a phenomenal job. We had a couple wonderful SME interviews with landscape engineer, relatively large firm, and a municipality, or you know, a couple of different opportunities, you know, for communities that want your product. It's a great reach out to them. So if a manufacturer gets a lead, you know, that's an opportunity to say like, hey, you know, I'm not trying to sell to you. I would love to sell with you or sell through you. And as along with that, could we collaborate and create some content together? And I think I really commend and admire how you open up the door to a couple of new relationships there. Anything that you want to chime in on that front?
Absolutely. You did. You helped me so much, Kurt, in even thinking about that, because a lot of times what we do can somewhat be transactional. Whether it's somebody fills out that RFQ form and it's just an email, hey, and they might just need basic pricing, and that's fine. Happy to do it. And, you know, it just might turn into an order, and there's very little even communication, and certainly not the opportunity to develop a relationship or hear feedback. And so one of the things that when we were doing one of the interviews, and it was with the landscape architect in Indiana, he was so open to being a part of this, to being a part of the interview process and supporting Pedoc, but also being able to highlight his work and what he does best. And so it was a perfect opportunity for us all to collaborate, mutually beneficial, of course, but it also built that relationship between him and between Pedoc and him, or between actually myself and him. And we heard feedback. You know, of course, we all love to hear, oh my gosh, your pedestals are the best. We would never consider using anything else. And while he did his fair share of that, he gave us a lot of props. He also gave us a new idea. You know, he said, you know what, I have this situation on an upcoming projects. We need to install pedestals near a tree, and we certainly don't want to disrupt the roots and the other vegetation and planting. And we want an alternative solution of how we can install. What are your thoughts? And so we took it to our engineers. We sat down and all talked about like, wow, this is a real world problem. And I'm sure that a lot of architects, designers, public works, you name it, struggle with is how to install in tricky situations like that. And so we came out with a mounting brackets, which can work in that particular area, along with several other applications. But being a small manufacturer, we're able to be very nimble and very responsive. So we had that interview, and I think within 3 months, we had that mounting bracket up on our website. And I mean, it's really cool. So even just that component of having these subject matter expert interviews was huge.
Yeah.
I'll tell you, that was a huge, remember, Melinda, you and I had the call, like, I'm like, Melinda, that was an epiphany. I mean, Damon, we've been doing these for years.
Yes.
And like the benefits on building that relationship, because,
Oh.
you get on the one-on-one call and it's just like, you're kind of like, it's almost human nature. You're trying to sell each other or whatever. But like when we did that SME interview, it was more like we want to learn, we want to understand, we want to know about you. What was your background? He shared about like when he went to college, what he did post-college. But like what an eye-opening, mind-blowing opportunity. Like he's giving us, like we're getting R&D feedback from an expert, not just like someone complaining about like, hey, I don't like your product. Cause like he gave like high level. Damon, what are your thoughts?
It's just so cool that you're able to do this because now you've got a new product, solves a problem that you wouldn't have known about had you not been going down the road and actually working with these people.
Yeah. Just asking. So I know I could keep you guys all day. Bassa, anything, let's tie things up in a bow. Anything that you want to add as we start winding down? Any comments from what Melinda just shared? You've been on a couple of these SME interviews. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, the SME interviews have been great. And while Melinda was a little cautious about the live stream, the SME folks, they jumped right in and were really happy to be asked about their expertise and share their insight. And like, that's something I think we don't think about often enough is those voices that we don't often solicit. They want to share and they want to be heard and show off what they know. So that was great to watch that evolve. They were not nearly as cautious to jump in and share their expertise as we might have expected. So that was a fun opportunity. It's been nothing short of an honor to support Pedoc Power and Marquez Metalworks as they've gone through this, and just watching the willingness to learn from you and your team, Kurt, and embrace all of it to nothing but great results. It's been really fun to watch.
It's been a blast. We need to get back on site here soon. So Melinda, just a little warning, Melissa and I might be back on the road and we might pop in for a visit.
Please.
Yeah.
I tried to tell him today, but it was no go for today.
What?
I'll get him next time.
We'll wait for when the weather's a little nicer.
It was weather related.
There you go.
Yes,
there you go.
A little nicer.
You're no wimp.
I know. So all right, let's go here. Let's start winding down. So Melissa, the question that I'd like to, I don't feel I asked you this last time. One question I love to ask folks: best business advice. What's the best business advice that you feel that you've ever received and or that you would love to pass along? What do you have to say there?
You did ask me this last time, but it's worth resharing, so I will go again. I had a former boss, mentor, friend who always told me, right, the customer is never going to remember exactly the situation or exactly the problem they had. They're going to remember how you responded to them and how you made them feel in a difficult moment, right? So there's always going to be challenges in business, but it's really how you collaborate work with your partner to work through your customer as a partner to work through those problems. That's what the customer is going to remember. And that's stuck with me. And I hope Melinda and other manufacturers here in Illinois feel that when they work with me, right? That we are partners and we'll work through things together. And I'm there to help them get all the resources they need.
100%, hands down.
Hey, drop the mic. That was a great response. And so and it reminds me, Melissa.
Well, it was a repeat though. So
hey, it doesn't matter. Hey,
it's good.
But it deserved a repeat.
Other than our moms, maybe nobody taught that, right? Other than your mom and my mom. But I just finished a book. It's called Unreasonable Hospitality. It's a phenomenal, incredible business book. I strongly encourage anybody to read it. And it's all about, it was a restaurant in Manhattan, went from like, nice, it was a very classy restaurant to the #1 in the world and what it took to get to that. So like just delivering that over the top experience. So what a great answer. What a great mentor that you had. Love that answer. Melinda, anything that you want to share for folks out there as far as like best business advice that you've heard or that you would like to pass along?
So, and I'm going to say it in its very basic form. And it's not that anybody has said these words to me specifically. It's what I observed. And I observed from my father for sure. And basically just do it right. Do it right. And what I mean by that is with your customers, treat them right, with your employees, with your partners, with your product, with your processes. And I know that's so basic and it sounds a little, it doesn't sound that easy when you break it out, but if you work at it, and some of it shouldn't even be work, right? The treat your customers. I mean, treat them like your family. Treat your employees like their family. So if you have a product that you're really proud of and you believe in, and an environment that you're really proud of, I mean, it's easy. Just do it right.
Just do it. You can never go wrong if you're just doing it right. And Melissa, I could keep you guys for another hour. I'd be remiss if I didn't mention the brand new phenomenal automatic welder that you and I got to witness. Just Melinda, just give a little shout out for like this piece of machinery that is state of the art, cutting edge. Before we close out, I had that on my list, and I'd be mad at myself if we didn't talk about that just real quick.
No problem. So one of the things that has helped our business all along the way is staying with technology at the forefront. So we've always invested in technology when it's warranted. And one of the big needs that we saw was with Pedoc specifically is since we're selling so many of them, that gosh, how nice it would be if we could put them through a robotic welder. And we've seen some of these before. We're exposed to them, obviously, I mean, for several years. And so we purchased a robotic welder, which is really, really cool. Kurt, I think you even saw it in action. There's a table that turns around, and there's so many benefits to it. One, even just the consistency, how dialed in it is, and of course the production time. And I think the welders actually appreciate it. I worried a little bit, because there's this new technology, and I think our welding team were a little bit shy about it, thinking, well, gosh, what is this going to do for me? We have been very fortunate where we continue to grow our other side of the business, which is on the custom manufacturing side, that we are always going to need that human touch and skill. And the power pedestals, in terms of a specialty welding expert or expertise needed, there's not a whole lot. It's very easy, and it can be very monotonous for our welders. And so they were actually relieved of this robotic welder, because instead of them sitting down and hand welding, straight line over and over and over, now they get to have fun and be challenged on these other more intricate capabilities. So.
And it's just just to see like a small family operation invest in themselves, really future-proofing your business and making that big investment, just make yourself more competitive, more efficient, more viable, and keep costs so we can keep making wonderful products here. So, all right, we need to let you guys go because I know you've got other things to do. You've got wonderful, Melissa, you've got manufacturers to save. Melinda, you've got products to put out there. So how about Damon? How about a big round of applause? Everybody out there, let's give a round of applause to Melissa and Melinda for absolutely crushing it. We appreciate you. We applaud you. We commend you guys for just doing great work. Melissa, best way to find you, IMEC website, IMEC Illinois, Melissa Bassa on LinkedIn. Anywhere else that we can find you? Those two are the best. Melinda, we can find you. You guys are all over social media. I know Teresa's got you cranking on Facebook, Instagram, Pinterest, LinkedIn, Pedoc Power Solutions. It's pedocpower.com. Anywhere else that we can find you, or anything else that you want to share as we close out?
I probably shouldn't give my mom's phone number, should I?
Listen, I did earlier, but
I think we've got it covered.
You got it all covered. Damon, take away anything that you want to close this out with?
No, I just think it's really cool how the work over the years has led to this buyer's guide, led to the journey down with the SME interviews, and then collaborative interviews on the outside, and really help to establish relationships and build new products.
Well, absolutely love it. Okay, guys, thank you for the comments in the chat box. If you got in late, strongly encourage you, invite you, welcome you. Man, hit the rewind button, catch the early part of this. Great origin story, wonderful work that IMEC is doing, Manufacturing Extension Partnership in Illinois, and of course, the great work that Melinda and the team at Pedoc, what they're doing there. So again, from bottom of my heart, Melissa, thank you for everything. Melinda, thank you for joining us today. Hang out with us for 1 second. And everybody out there, like we love to say, just go out and be someone's inspiration, just like these two, and you will make the world a better place, just like we are at IMEC and at Pedoc. So, all right, guys, we'll see you. We have another IMEC client on Friday. We'll see you guys Friday.
Nice.